You know, if we got rid of some of like the bugs or put up like an insect net or something, this place would be pretty cozy to sleep. So I'm gonna do this time what I did in the Arbiter's Grounds, where I just spent the whole time basically talking about shenanigans with the artist. This time talking about a different artist. Well, no, the same artist, but a separate artist as well. I'm trying to get a logo for the channel, like a banner that just goes up in the background. I can use as like a watermark, stuff like that. Also, this is Ocarina of Time's place. And has the coolest bug in the game. Because the snail... What is it? The snails? Uh, uh, all the bugs are in the same location. Except for the snails, which are in different... they're in the same location, but they're in different time periods. But I'm trying to get a logo for the channel. And because of that, I had to commission an artist. And I messaged the artist about 6 days ago. I said, hey, this is the purpose that I would need for the logo, just so it's clear. Would it be possible? Yada, yada, yada. Actually, no, specifically what I said was, hey, I can't help but notice that your gigs page does not have the size listed. I need this size. Would that be possible? 3 days later, I got met back with... Oh. 3 days later, I got met back with... Oh yeah, no, the size of the logo is 3,000 by 3,000. To which I responded, that's a little bit too big for my purposes. Would it be possible to get it in the needed size? I messaged back a day later because I was sick. She just said, oh, don't worry about it. The size will be what you need. Or the size will work. I responded with, well, I do kind of have to worry about it because if it's not the size I need... Oh, don't worry, it'll be made to fit. Okay, that could mean that you're just going to take the image, work on it in the square format, and then compress and squash it into the size I need, which is not how I want it to be done because that would have a quality loss. Link, don't you think there's something odd about that statue? In the grove and in the temple entry, there were always matching ones on each side, but there's only one here. Why don't you use your senses to take a look around? This is a very long and tedious dungeon, but I love this dungeon. I go, hey, I don't need the sizes to be compressed or anything like that. I just need it to be like an actual banner. Oh, well, as a banner, you would need this size, and don't worry, I'll have it fit to the canvas you need. So I just gave up because I keep asking for a certain size to be done, and keep getting met with, oh, don't worry, it'll work. So I might have to just either chastise them or ask for a refund, which I don't want to do. I want to resolve it, peacefully and, respectfully. But if the artist is gonna, not be helpful, I'm gonna have to give up on it. Like, I don't want to waste time. And that is what that would have been. So, I'm hoping that checks out. But the other little comment I was gonna make... Hey, Smokey. Is that actual door I can go in? not so fast. At last, this is it. This is where I've been trying to get to. The ancient technology of our people sleeps in this place. We've searched all over, and now we're so close I can smell it. Once we find that thing, we can go home at last. Oh, gracious, yes. Young man, we're so close, so please help us find what we're looking for. Uku. So do I want to go in that door? Or do I want to go up here? Well, this appears to be where I need to be going. So what's this door, then? Is it just not a door and just a fancy wall instead? Son of a gun. So, on to the other story I have about the artist that did this picture. I did accept this weird version where her little mouth spikes bend up when she blinks, which is not exactly how I wanted it. But, oh well, I think it looks cute. It adds a little extra charm to the chibi. Also, yeah, shows how strong these creatures are. Also, little detail. Don't break the pots in this dungeon. But, yeah, I kept that just because it's whatever. It's nice. I like how it looks. But just don't break all the pots, because you will need them for, like, switches like that. And having it be, the pots is, actually worked into the... Well, that actually just gives it away right there. It's worked into the puzzle. Because if I actually come up here and break this... If I pick this up, that door in the back opens up. But if I put it back down, that closes. So you gotta do something like this. Which is interesting. So I should hopefully have them up, or have them by the time this part goes up. Hopefully. Oh yeah. Weird little statue dudes. But, I should have them up by now, but, I mentioned the, last time the emotes, because I do plan on streaming eventually. Oh, excuse me. And how how she's also doing the large-scale pictures that I would need for, like, editing and all that. But how she's doing it for, like, a discounted price and all that. She specifically mentioned if I would need, like, a logo or anything. Mind you, this was after I already commissioned the one who's now giving me issues, so... Eventually that's, you know, that might cause an issue. But I mentioned that I'm already I already have a logo being made and all that, but I specifically asked, because I am liking working with this artist. I specifically asked if what the hell is that thing? If I would be able to like in the future purchase more like outfits and stuff for the character, because I do plan on going live 2D eventually, and having you know, a bunch of outfits to pick from would be very nice. She specifically mentioned that she has been wanting to try to do the live 2D stuff. and asked if I would be interested in being their first customer. I already have a live 2D like artist lined up, or I already had one rather, because we'll we'll know where this story is going in a split second. She asked me what, like I mentioned that I already got the other artist to work down to a deal and all that. This one specifically asked me like what deal did I work out. The other artist specifically cut down to, what is it, 130 total. 65 for the rig, 65 for the model separate, instead of like 150 for both combined. So I got her to split that, but I gave the other artist the details of the deal, but I specifically stated that I was given the offer of 60 and 60. I'd weasel down $5. Also, yeah, this dungeon's huge, because there is a gimmick to this dungeon. But the artist then cut me down to 100 total instead of 130 or 120 is the number that they had. The hell? So, however, with this other, with the second artist, I won't get, like emotes or anything like that, or, emotions or whatever included. I would have to pay extra for those, which I guess is a decent enough trade-off. But, yeah, so doing all that and all that, working on getting a live 2D eventually. Because I did kind of con. It wasn't much of a con. I lowered the price by $5 that I was, or 10 total that I was given. And the artist was like, oh, okay, well, I'll be competitive and I'll drop my price down, you know, so I look like a more tantalizing offer. It's called competitive marketing. However, I am getting less, technically getting less free, but I would much rather get a cheap base and then work up from it. Oh, yeah, I remember how this room actually works. There's an oddness to this room. Although I want to... Oh yeah, I can't actually do that. What the hell? Where is... Is there another one of these little statuettes? No. But yeah, like, I'll pay for emotions, like the emotions and the toggles and stuff like that later. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. I do wish artists were more, like, honest about, like, how much of the price is being increased by having certain aspects. Like, oh yeah, you know, this thing is $150, 100 for, you know, the actual thing. But then, you know, there's 3 of these, so that's 10 extra. There's this, which is... Oh, what? There's this thing, which is then 20, and, you know, like, I wish they were more honest about what is increasing the price on their stuff. Well, how am I... Oh, key. But I understand why they don't do that, because that diminishes, like, how much work that they're doing. It puts it puts value on everything. As I stand like, oh yeah, the thing you're actually wanting is this, but I'm tacking on all this extra crap, and you get no say in the matter and stuff like that. But I do wish artists were a bit more honest about it. It would make wanting to buy stuff a lot easier, right? Because if you just want something... Because usually if you go into like a clothing store... Oh crud, yeah, I gotta come back and do this, yeah. Because I think I remember how this... Yeah. There's another chest in this room that I need to spawn, but I don't have the item to do it. Because you go to like a clothing store, right, and they have a shirt and, you know, shirt and pants. $60, you know, this is a matching set. Or you can pay, you know, $35 for just the shirt, $35 for just the pants. Like, they do usually do stuff like that. Where the price is cut in half, you know, it's usually a little bit more. You know, shirt and pants, $60. Shirt or pants, $35 each. You know, it's a little bit more expensive to buy them on their own, but you have a say in the matter. If you don't want the pants and just the shirt, then you can just get the pants. Like, it makes it so much more appealing to buy. I wish artists did that more. But I understand why they don't, right? Because a lot of them do go to, like, school and get a degree for it. I don't know how, like, much effort and work goes into the degrees. I don't want to diminish it and say, oh, well, all you're doing is sitting around playing with paint all day, so that's not actually education. And, like, no. Mind you, there are some artists that I would say didn't actually go to art school, but are claiming they did instead, because, my god, some of the pieces of artwork. But there's... Okay. But there's a market for everybody. Plus, again, I don't want to diminish or, you know, insult people's, like, skill. I personally think the black and white VTuber model stuff that people get now is incredibly ugly. But I can't deny that people like it. Again, I think it's just ludicrously hideous. But I'm not everybody. People might say this chibi or like my actual art style or my actual other art character's ugly. Heck, I've had people tell me not to use the other art style. Presumably because they found it ugly or something. And, you know, while I disagree with their opinion, I'm not gonna, you know... diminish them as a human being. They just need to, you know, get better opinions. Plus, there's also the logic of, like, why watch someone you don't like the artwork of, so usually your opinion should only be localized. Oh. I pushed left. I don't know why he ran forward. I think these are Dinofals, is what these ones are. Yeah, I don't want to diminish anyone's time or effort or anything they spend and then, you know, be like, well, I think your art is bad, so therefore you didn't go to art school. No, I don't want to say that at all. Again, you could argue in some cases, but it just means that art style's not for me. Perfectly valid. I also don't know the quality of this artist's live 2D stuff because they don't actually have the gig for it. Yeah, they don't actually have a gig for it. Because basically when I mentioned I was going for live 2D... Oh yeah, I also forgot to finish the end of that story. When I said I was going to go live 2D eventually, and she asked like the price and all that and gave me a counteroffer. She said that she doesn't do it yet. She's interested in doing that, and was wondering if I would be her first customer. Of course, mind you, I do understand that that is a case of blowing smoke up someone's ass. Like, yeah, they don't have the live 2D gig on their page, but the whole, like, oh, it would mean a lot to me if you were the first customer, like, that is a little... Like, I do understand that that doesn't mean as much as it could. As if it would from, like, a friend. Like, heck, when my little sister made, like, her first actual, like, meal she's ever made, when she asked if I would be the first one to test it, or when she made, like, her own little recipe, she wrote it down exactly how much everything was needed. She specifically asked me if I would be the first one to try it. I straight up told her, I said, heck yeah. So I was the first one that tried her recipe. Like that, you know, and that meant a lot to me. In the, you know, the first one picked. Where? Yeah, that's for later. But, yeah, you know, I'm and one, I'm not gonna lie, the cheapness is, a big, like, deciding factor. But I'm interested in being, you know, first customer for something that someone's been trying out. piece. Key, probably. Yeah. Especially because, like, looking at the little character on the bottom right, and, like, she technically made the character in, like, 3 days? 4 days? I just had to send it back for revisions because she, you know, made a couple mistakes. Such as using the wrong outfit. Oh. But even still, like, I think it was like 7 days total with 3 revisions. Mind you, it would have been more if I sent it back to have the mouth spikes fixed, but even then, I really like how it looks. So I can attest for their skill in chibi work, at least. However, I just now have to play the villain for the other artist that I had waiting for as long. Because I don't get a lot of money. That's why these purchases have to be, like, specially made and all that. So I do specifically have to have the purchases made, like, ahead of time, or, like, arranged and all this. So I did have a deal set up for them in December when I get, you know, the most amount of money in the month I get, or the year I get. So I was having them wait a chunk of time. So now I do have to kind of break the news and be like, hey, yeah, I hate to do this, but... Oh, I don't have... I broke all the pots. So, like, yeah, I hate to do this, but, I'm gonna have to bail on our arrangement. Mind you, it was just an arrangement. It wasn't set in stone, like I didn't already partial pay. I just feel bad that I got them to talk down a price. But not much can be done there. Purchasing is competitive, and that's also kind of why I leave myself open to a large time window. It's just in case, you know, I come across a better offer. That's also why I specifically do, whenever I set up a purchase, I discuss the deal and the, you know, the, like, what I need with, like, 5 different people. Just to give myself options. Also, coolest enemy in this game. This is a... I think this is specifically a Dark Nut. I think that's the first actual enemy that Link beats that isn't a boss that he does the flourish against. He might have done it against the monkey, I don't remember. Dominion Rod. This amazing rod can infuse ancient statues with life. This is another weapon that's in Hyrule Warriors, but it's given to Zelda instead. A statue brought to life will move like its master. I mean, the claw shot is, I think, also in... Or it might be hook shot in Hyrule, I don't remember. Hyrule Warriors. So Dominion Rod is very weird, but very interesting. And it also starts off as to why this dungeon is as unique as it is. All those bells we've been seeing on the way up. The goal of this dungeon is to come up here and get him, and then bring him down. So it's a one-way, then it's a go there and back dungeon. Which is really interesting, and not very common for a Zelda game. And there is no difference between charging it and not charging it. Okay, where... And you're also not limited to just controlling him. You control the little ones, too. But yeah, it's an interesting enough dungeon. The idea is neat. Okay. Now I have to piece together how I get up there. Oh, that's how I do it. Because I could have done this sooner, but... Still no, huh? Hmm. Oh, yeah, wrong, item. I do also love how the most recent item you get is the last in the list. Or the first in the list, rather. But then the more, like, utility items, like bottles and bombs, are towards the end. I think you only need 4. Actually, I think there is a trick to this. I think I can... Yeah. And then I could throw these back over here. Because I don't care about getting the statue up just yet. I want to get up here. That's still not enough. God damn. Okay. Save state because this game's as reliable as... I can't make that TOG reference because that's not exactly a very polite thing. No, I can't. I'll make the reference. I don't remember specifically why he said it, but he said trusting something is about as reliable as a heroin addict surrounded by heroin, or crack addict surrounded by crack, or something like that. An addict surrounded by their vice is not very reliable, was more or less the joke. And then, yeah, this is... So what's the point of that? Do I need the 5th little statuette? I don't know. Buddy, I've killed like 9 of yous at this point. I hope you understand. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Oh yeah, big key. I forgot big keys are a thing. Yeah, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Have you seen my arsenal of ass-kicking tools? But yeah, as I mentioned, holding the button like this, because it looks like this charges it, because the orb does get bigger, doesn't matter. It's not a case of you're actually charging it. Oh yeah, this is interesting. I knew this came into play eventually, but I like how the game makes you use these, like the little armored guys' faceplates. That's cute. That's a nice little detail. That's a nice little detail. I like it. You got the big key. Gotten it in almost every dungeon so far, yet the game still makes a big deal out of it. Okay, so are all the statuettes on the scales, or no? It's reset. I certainly hope I don't need that 5th one. Or 6th one, technically. Because the thing is, I don't know how big he is. Insert whatever joke you want to make there regarding penile size, but I don't know how large of a, like, how much weight he has to him. I assume he's a lot. Because Link is 2 of these. Okay, so he's 4 of them. That's good to know. Oh, I don't have to actually get a running start to throw, huh? I just hold the button, or hold down L and he'll throw. Didn't know that. That's nice to know. And this is kind of how you're meant to kill these guys, but... Oh yeah, you push the button again. And yeah, he can... Bozo here can hurt Link. But yeah, I really like the Temple of Time. I think it's a really cool dungeon. It could have been handled a little bit better. Because it's like super simple, right? That scale puzzle's the hardest it gets. So, like, the puzzle, there could have been more puzzles with... I do understand why Zelda games don't typically have a ton of puzzles. It's because these games are meant to be completable by anybody, or children especially. So I do get why they don't go out of their way to, like, have super extravagant puzzles, but... Having a little bit more to do here would have been nice. But having the ability to just come through here and just mess up everything like, after you've already, like, struggled with everything is super cool. Because who wants to do the same puzzle twice? The fact that he can just destroy the puzzles is, like, awesome. Okay. I think this room had... I'm having a brain fart as to what button's the map. I think this room had a Poe. Oh, because he needs to smash it, yeah. Although, is that the last Poe of the dungeon? 'Cause I don't care about, like, chests and all that, because the game tracks that for you. Oh, so yeah, I forgot to tell it that I have that. As well as 3 small keys and the big key. Above scales, yeah, I'm about to get Big Poe behind gate, so I'll mark that off. And then there's one back at the beginning, because... Spoilers! The Poe at the very... or the statues at the very beginning of the dungeon. When I first joined, or first spawned in, and I got, like, the golden bug. Yeah, that's... there's a Poe there. Gotta give him a fancy name. What would Smashy Boy's name be? Reginald? Oh yeah, I can actually... Is this up or down? It's up. But yeah, again, I like the concept of this dungeon. I just do wish that there was a little bit more to do. Or rather, it didn't feel so slow. Oh, yeah. And Link won't actually... Yeah, because I gotta go in there. No. And there is no... Nope. Can I use... a friendo? Provided he doesn't move. Oh yeah? You guys want to pick a fight? We'll pick a fight. I've not had a reason to blow something up in the last several minutes. You son of a bitch. Okay, no, that's actually a bad idea. I think that's kind of what it wants you to be doing. But, like, why? Why would you? Why would you hurt yourself like that? I think you can cheat this if you use, like, a very specific, like, throw. You could throw a statue over the railing and get it in that little pit on the Switch, but... I'll be asked if I'm gonna try it. And I think this is the last piece of heart. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, and Friendo's moved. Plus, a lot of this dungeon also does just kind of feel like a little bit of busy work. Doesn't change the fact that I like it, but... Ba 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 ba. I wish I was playing on the Wii U version. I'd have a button. Oh, I don't actually want to mess with that. Or use him, rather. Oh, that's not actually a button. This dungeon loves its arrows. Okay, just double check. All the chests are gotten. Yep. And the whole time was just to bring Reginald back to his friend. Maybe it's his wife, who knows? Or husband. I don't judge. Hey! I didn't see you. Alright, that's it. Run me through here. Oh, do I get the ability to kill this thing with these? Or these things with this? Apparently not. I like how every boss in this game has been fought roughly in the 1 hour mark. Every dungeon's taken an hour, and every boss has been fought roughly an hour into the dungeon. I definitely have to put an arachnophobia warning on this, though, because the spiders in this one are just hairy. And I'm not a fan of spiders. Twilight Arachnid Armagoma. Come on, push the button. Especially this one. This is a hairy spider. I don't like spiders. And Goma always gives birth. I said, you know what? We'll go creepy with this. Because it's most likely going to go in the middle of the arena and shit out a bunch of babies. We'll go first-person shooter with this. Really? I missed? Okay, fine. Bad idea. Pooping out babies? Okay, it's dead. I love Link's little, like, what the hell? Look he's got going on. Also, I love the fact, it's really cool, that song, when you beat the boss, like when you kill the spider Goma, it plays the normal boss defeat song, but missing some notes. When you kill the eyeball version of Goma, you get the rest, like the rest of the notes, but just on their own. It's really neat. Just one left. Link? You saw how nasty that monster was, right? The evil within the shards is more powerful than you can imagine. Curious, though, as to why the shards themselves are evil, considering it was just a portal to your realm, which was a prison for you? Like, you and your, like, the kind that you're a member of? Why would it be evil unless yous were inherently evil? You know, we could be assembling something truly terrible here. Yeah, the portal to your house. It would be something that we ultimately have to destroy. We have to hurry. Let's find the last shard. We have to reach the sky with everybody's least favorite boss, which is not that big of a deal for me, which means it's going to pose me the most issues. Okay, tell the game I beat that. May as well tell it I've got that. And the Poe. Excuse me? Wait, what? Oh, because the game, yeah, because it already counts as having one. No, that's really stupid. Hang on. It's either, oh yeah, because you start with one, then that's, you know, this is the one you start with. There's two. No, I just think the tracker's broken. Huh. Interesting. Oh well. It happens. Emo tracker isn't exactly the greatest, so. But it works well enough. Provided the ability to actually save it and have it saved properly would be nice. Okay. Now, before you leave properly, I recommend doing this first. Because there is a chest and a Poe here, and you won't be able to come back and do this at a later moment for a little bit of time. This dungeon, oddly enough, has 3 pieces of heart, because I count this as part of the dungeon. There also wasn't that many money. I've had 1 drink. Come on. Okay. Well, next time I will be leaving the dungeon. No particular reason as to why I am waiting to do this. Until next time. Absolutely no particular reason. Shush, you're being paranoid. Oh, that's a lot of money I've got sitting up here. That's $250. Yeah, I think next time I'll do the actual, the next main quest. And then, oh, wait a second, actually, what is next? Because I think there's 2 quests I have to do before I get, I don't know, I'll learn. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.